This is going to be a big Bitcoin warning because Bitcoin is still trading inside of this downtrend while Bitcoin is consolidating inside of this falling wedge pattern, and we have been getting some very bullish data in the markets yesterday. So we'll need to be talking about that exactly in today's update video. What is going to be next for Bitcoin? So can we once again push up the likes back above the 200 likes? That will be absolutely amazing, and as always, let's have a look into our short term. And over here, Bitcoin is still trading inside of this downtrend. We are still making lower lows and lower highs. But we can be starting to see that Bitcoin is starting to trade inside of this falling wedge pattern, which is typically a bullish biased reversal pattern. So if we are going to be breaking this one out towards the upside, if we are going to be breaking this downtrending level of resistance, well, that is going to be a point where we can definitely expect a Bitcoin bounce and a Bitcoin push back up higher. Now, we are still having that CME gap sitting above us, which if we are about to fill this CME gap sitting above us, well, in that case, we are going to be breaking this falling wedge pattern towards the upside. So that would definitely be extremely bullish. We do know that 90% of these CME gaps tend to be getting filled very quickly. So let's see if Bitcoin indeed is going to be breaking this falling wedge pattern towards the upside and is going to be seeing a short-term bounce. It is definitely starting to look very good with this Bitcoin bullish divergence, which we are having. And yes, in that longer term, definitely the trend is still to the downside, but also in that longer term, we are starting to develop this falling wedge pattern on the 2-day time frame. So if we are about to be reversing our trend over here, that would definitely be very bullish. And in that longer term, well, the data is still pointing bullish. Need to be talking about that exactly a little bit later. First of all, talking about the inflation numbers that we have been getting yesterday, well, this is also starting to look very good. The core inflation rate has been very sticky in the last couple of months, but this has been the first print again, which has been lower than around this baseline that we were in. The core inflation rate has been very sticky over here, but right now we are headed again towards this 2% goal. Combined with the fact that the stock market has been selling off, it will be exciting to see if Jerome Powell is going to be changing anything with its speech during the FOMC meeting we are going to be getting in 6 days. And while we are likely not going to be seeing any kind of a rate cut, well, the speech is going to be important, and it is going to be interesting to see if indeed he is going to be more dovish during the speech. And if that is indeed going to be true, well, that could be a reason for a market bounce to the upside again, for the stock market to bounce back to the upside. And that could be the important turning point in 6 days. So let's see. Very exciting. Now, if we are going to be having a look in towards the data for Bitcoin, it is all suggesting that we should be buying at this current moment. While yes, markets are trending down, it is going to be expected to see a turning point anytime soon. First of all, on that 2-day time frame, Bitcoin is trading inside of this falling wedge pattern, which is a typical bullish biased reversal pattern. On top of that, the Bitcoin funding rates are currently trading negative, and all of the time where this has been happening, it has been generally a very good buying opportunity. All of the time, whenever this has been happening, majority of the market participants are trading short, and whenever that is happening, it is usually signaling a bottom in the Bitcoin price. On top of that, we can be having a look into what's a Bitcoin RSI indicator, and the Bitcoin RSI indicator is right now reaching massive bottoming out levels. And if we are going to be having a look into what's a global liquidity, well, the global liquidity is on the rise again, literally about to be hitting new all-time highs again. And the global liquidity is always very correlated with the Bitcoin price with about a 75 days lag. You can clearly see in this screenshot, well, all of the time, whenever the global liquidity has been topping out, the Bitcoin price has been topping out 75 days later. And whenever the global liquidity has been bottoming out, well, the Bitcoin price has been bottoming out 75 days later. And we can see a bottom in the global liquidity, having a look into a green line. And 75 days later, it is going to be expected that Bitcoin will follow and also bottom out. And that time period is about to be reached any time now. So it is going to be expected that while everyone is fearful and while everyone is bearish in the market, that Bitcoin is about to bottom out again anytime soon. This is definitely looking very good for the markets. everything is pointing in towards the same direction. I think it is going to be very important to be staying patient with the market. I am buying at this current moment. Now, these signals are not going to be playing out in a matter of days. They're going to be playing out in a matter of weeks. It can still be taking some more time, so it is going to be very important to be staying patient with the market right now. Anyways, guys, if you're going to be getting interested in trading Bitcoin right now with these massive breakouts coming up, well, make sure to be checking out that first link down below, because with that first link down below, you can now claim 150 USD Tether free bonus by signing up a new account with the first link down below. Deposit at least $1,000, get a trading volume of about 10k, which is very easily to achieve. Only a 10x leverage trade with 1k is already getting you there. And then if you fulfill these requirements, you're already going to be getting $150 completely for free. So check it out right now if it is going to be available in your country. Anyways, zooming out, this is not going to be the time to be bearish over on Bitcoin. Yes, we could be at it a little bit lower in the short term. And if we are indeed going to be dipping in towards the 70k region, it would be the perfect opportunity to buy in the market. Now, I do not think it is going to be very likely we're going to be reaching that low, because everyone is already thinking we're going to be reaching that 70k level. And whenever everyone is thinking we're going to be reaching that level, it is going to be less likely, right? But the DXY is falling very hard at this current moment. It is crashing, so the Bitcoin dominance is likely to do the same. Now, what we need is QE in the market again. If we are going to be seeing QE, that is going to be the final real start of the altcoin season. And the dollar falling to the downside is definitely already starting to help with that. So let's see if this plan indeed is going to be playing out in the next couple of months, where Trump is going to be crashing the stock market in that short term, but in the longer term is going to be pressuring the Fed to be cutting the interest rates and indeed start QE, and indeed is going to be pumping all of our bags. Let's see if that is going to be happening. I mean, in 6 days, we're already going to be getting some more clarity for what the Fed is going to be doing. Anyways, with that being said, make sure to be following me over on X to be staying up to date about every single market development. And guys, I'll see you in another update video tomorrow morning.